If you've been around Roblox or social media platforms such as TikTok and YouTube and have browsed the Roblox areas, you have most likely seen a Battlegrounds game. The strongest Battlegrounds, Heroes Battlegrounds, Ultimate Battlegrounds, Jump Showdown. There are tons and tons of Battlegrounds games. Some are based off of animes, some are based off of games, and a select few use original characters. However, each Battlegrounds game has issues. TSB isn't called the strongest hitboxes for no reason. However, again, each Battlegrounds game has another issue, a universal issue to the genre. That being, its community. For those of you who are aware, Battlegrounds players are some of the most miserable, the most egotistical, the most brain-dead excuse makers on the goddamn planet. Though there are arguably other communities similar, or far worse than the Battlegrounds genre, it's safe to say that this specific community is so miserable that they've ruined an entire genre of game. Some dinosaurs may remember the earlier days of the strongest Battlegrounds. The UI Goku weakest dummy, altered Moveset for Saitama and Garou, that would either be changed, reused, or be added later on. This is basically where it all started. TSB was created by Santino, a name both famous and infamous in the Battlegrounds community, famous for creating TSB, infamous for only updating it every 10 years. Anyway, I think it's time to discuss the reasons why the community has so badly killed their own genre. I think it's time to address the fat ass, Dorito munching, lazy ass elephant in the room. The Battlegrounds community is filled with toxic people who ruin the fun for everyone. But not just any old toxic person. These are what I call TSB kids. If you've ever seen a Battlegrounds video, you know exactly who these kinds of Battlegrounds players are. The ones that always have their backs turned to you while walking like they own the fucking place. The ones who make up the most dumbest excuses. The ones that go S when you get killed by them. The emote spammers, and doing literally anything to make your experience a living hell. These kinds of players in the community alone ruin most of the game. They're pieces of shits who have nothing better to do. It's always a basic rule to treat everyone the way you want to be treated, and when these players get treated the exact same way, they're quick to call their homies to team on you. Speaking of teaming in Battlegrounds games single-handedly ruin the game. Under certain conditions, teaming is okay, but most of the time, teaming is so obnoxious and unnecessary that it makes you wanna question what the fuck even happened in the first place. Yesterday noon, I was getting teamed on by not one, not two, but 3 people in Jump Showdown. Why? I don't fucking know, but all I do know is I was whooping ass half the time. I then moved to Ultimate Battlegrounds after the teamers left, and the one guy I was smoking for almost an hour finally killed me and left, not before saying os, of course. I then proceeded to get jumped by 4 people in Ultimate Battlegrounds. It's honestly ridiculous and needs to be addressed on every Battlegrounds game. I wanna address something that's an issue in both Battlegrounds games and in general for Roblox. If you've been on Roblox social media topics or whatever in the recent years, you've probably seen this word flying around. Guna. Pretty much what that means is any Robloxer that looks a bit too fanciful-like. Guna fits in my opinion are in fact an issue. However, the Battlegrounds community especially hates any female Robloxer that even slightly looks attractive or quote-unquote Guna. Take a look at one of my female avatars for example. This is supposed to be a representation of Fuyumi Todoroki, Shoto Todoroki's sister from My Hero Academia. If I went into a Battlegrounds game exactly like this, I would get jumped, probably get at least one sexist remark, and most notably, called a Guna. This is not, I repeat, not a Guna fit. This, on the other hand, is a good example of a Guna fit. Yet, these idiots don't know the difference. They're fighting to rid of gooners, and now majority of them think any female avatar is a gooner. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, another major issue in the Battlegrounds community are the unspoken rules. Simply put, there are a large amount of Battlegrounds players who think it's not okay to use mechanics or resources the game gives you. Most notably, people complaining when you use your ultimate, or using a wall. People complaining about the character you're using. People saying that running is not okay, but then they run themselves, and give off an excuse like you used ult. This whole unspoken rules thing is in the top 3 reasons of why the community ruined its own genre. I would like to address the most argued unspoken rules, and give off my reasons as to why the complaints are fucking retarded. Unspoken rule number 1, using ultimate. Using ultimate at any point in any fight automatically means you lost the fight, because of how overpowered it makes you, as well as giving you most or all of your HP back. Newsflash, you fucking dumb bitches, that's the entire point of ultimates in Battlegrounds games. Ultimates in Battlegrounds are literally your comeback mechanic. Do a quick Google search on fighting games that have comeback mechanics. You'll be surprised to find how many games have it. Using ult in Battlegrounds games are also meant to make you strong, much stronger than a typical fighter. That's also the point of a comeback. Ultimates also act as an aggression tool, meant to get in your face and beat you to death. So every time I hear something like "oh my god he popped ult," I just cringe my ass off, because of how ridiculous it is to think like these people. Unspoken rule number 2, if you're using certain characters, such as Saitama, Sonic, Not the Hedgehog, Izuku Midoriya version 2, and more, you're not count on count, skilled, and need to use count on count, easy characters to win fights. Regardless of what character you and your opponent are, unless it's an admin character that's just fucking unfair, you can win fights. I hate when people make the excuse of what character you're playing and how easy they are. The reason why characters get nerfed nowadays in any game is because of people like this. I'm not saying that some legit nerfs weren't needed or anything like that. I'm saying that people like this are and will be the reason why characters either receive nerfs harder than they should or get nerfed for over-exaggerated reasons. Unspoken rule number 3, using resources such as walls, throwable items, and more are cheap and only make winning easier. If you use them, you're bad at the game and need them to win. First of all, why would these resources be in the game if the devs did not want you to utilize them? Second of all, just because someone uses said items doesn't automatically mean they needed them. That's like complaining in a traditional fighter like Street Fighter, where I have my opponent backed into the invisible wall, performing combos, then he gets mad that I'm using the invisible barrier for combos. Like stupid ass, that's the point. I'm trying to kill you in a fighting game, and it just so happens I got you close to a wall. Best believe I'm gonna use it. Unspoken rule number 4, if at any point you move away from your opponent in the slightest, or play count on count, passive, you're a wimpy bitch who can't fight. Newsflash, again, there's a difference between being passive and being smart. One could argue what a true passive bitch is, but in my experience, a passive bitch is someone who's always backing up, usually holding block, and rarely, if ever, actually approaching you. Someone who's always waiting for you to strike first, then punish you if you fail. Being smart in a fighting game means not throwing yourself at the enemy, or leaving your stupid ass wide open for a beating. Sometimes when you're just playing normally, people will call you passive, and they don't even know what that word even means. Unspoken rule number 5, it is never okay under any circumstance to rematch a person you fought previously, especially if you've lost to said person. You're supposed to accept your own and move on. This is one of the dumber, if not, the dumbest unspoken rule in Battlegrounds games. You won't believe how many times people have complained or trash talked on people who simply wanted to run the ones again and again until they won. This is completely normal. I repeat. This is completely normal. I don't understand why people think you shouldn't be allowed to fight anyone you want on a free-for-all open world ice fighting game. If I lose to someone and I want to fight them again, there should be no reason why I should be treated like shit when I lose more than twice or hear complaining when I run it back. Now granted, I can understand the annoyance of the same dude coming back at you over and over again until he wins, but get this, the person who's constantly running the ones is your free kill generator. So shut the fuck up and let that person come at you time and time again, because as long as you're winning, your stats are being boosted, and I know how you Battlegrounds fiends love your stats. These are all the main unspoken Battlegrounds rules I wanted to mention. I'm not even fucking with you when I say that this kind of shit actually ruins the games. Truly. It's so annoying hearing these bitches whine and complain about basic shit in a game where you fight people as a character. And because of these unspoken rules, it actually affects some Battlegrounds games completely. For example, there was a Battlegrounds game I played, I forgot the name, but using ultimate didn't replenish HP, not even a little. People have complained about it so much that an entire game mechanic was nerfed to favor the weak. Another example are the hypocrites in the game. The same people who complain about runners and all that shit, but then proceed to run from you as soon as you're doing better than them or popping ultimate. It's ridiculous. I want to speak on something, then summarize everything I just said. As I've mentioned before, the Battlegrounds community is full of toxic brain-dead players. So much so that, if the community was a person, it would look like a deformed version of Fat Albert who smells like Chernobyl. But with all the bad there is in the games and the community, there is good. So many people have put so much effort into everything you see in every Battlegrounds game. It's honestly sad when you think about the players these devs get. The impatient kids who are always screaming at the devs when a new update doesn't come out within the next 48 hours or so. The players who treat devs like shit. The players who aren't thankful for nearly anything the devs push out. It sucks knowing that the kinds of games you played are being treated by a community the games did not deserve. The Battlegrounds community is only going to get worse from here. To all developers and future developers of, not just Roblox games or Battlegrounds games, but games in general, know that you are appreciated, and all the time you put into your projects are noted and respected. Thank you for making projects you love, and sharing it to others. And Battlegrounds devs, thank you for evolving the genre over time, adding new mechanics, characters, and more. Battlegrounds devs deserve better people in the community, not these hard to deal with little shits who think ruining everything is funny. Now, to summarize everything I just said, it is very noticeable at this point that something is extremely wrong with Battlegrounds games, but it's not necessarily the games, but rather the community who plays them. The overbearingly toxic, ungrateful, and heartless people who play these games on a daily have done so much damage to the Battlegrounds genre over the years with their bickering, toxic and rude remarks, complaining, and more, than it's actually ruining the genre of game itself. Some of the people in this community are actually ruining everything in these games, the fun, the uniqueness, and the charm, and they've been doing it in different ways. I'm hoping that at some point, communities that need it get the respect they deserve, and the right people. I hope that known toxic communities such as this one get healed, and make their game fun again, because playing a game where their community is knowingly toxic, bad, or all of the above, ruins the game itself. Thank you all for watching. This video is a little under-edited, but I think it's for the better of my PC storage. I have an idea of how I want to do my upcoming big project. My Hero Ultra Rumble is broken, so I'm hoping I can do it. See you all next time, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more shit like this. Sayonara.